Welcome to Rema Pulse TV. Kindly subscribe and hit the like button. Thank you.
Was an overly wicked man. There is a part of the Constitution that can be taken advantage of to implement the result of his wickedness on your life. A wedding was to take place. You know, I'm almost always not in weddings, but for that one I was around. By the power of God, I was around. I had my collar was on. We were preparing, and all of that. Then when we came to church, we began to pray in tongues as my custom is. Before the wedding, I would wake up by 5. Our weddings here start by 9, so I wake up by 5 in the morning. Then I begin to pray in tongues, just to browse the two people that want to get married. If there is going to be a challenge in the future, I do browsing from 5. The browsing must be for 4 hours. So when I come into the premises of the arena, I begin to do final browsing, just if God has anything to say, so that I will be aware. All right. Now, so when I was doing the final browsing, the groom was already present, sitting down. We normally come first. So we're waiting for the bride. I was browsing, high in spirit, browsing. And then the bride came in a vehicle. And when she showed up in the vehicle, she refused to come down. So I knocked the window. She wound down. I saw she was crying. You're crying on your wedding day. Then she busted into tears. What is happening? That's okay. Let's see in the office. Nobody must see these tears. Package these tears. Let's go to the office. Then when she entered the office, I said, cry. So she, when you are counseling, you don't understand the burden of a pastor. You don't understand. When you are counseling, don't stop people from crying. Sometimes the reason why they came to you so that they will just cry and release it. It's not for you to say anything. So I gave her the opportunity. So she finished crying. They are singing hymn here. Where am I? You guys don't know these ones. So I'm telling you from my own practice. She finished crying. So she told me that the person she wants to get married to, she doesn't love him. Wait now. That's not the reason why I'm telling you this story. I said, okay, I get your point. Can you take this pen and write 2 things that will go wrong if you marry this man? Just write it. Because what I wanted her to understand that she could not understand, I wanted to lead her practically into a knowledge that she was not experienced enough to understand. If you have not dealt with devils long enough, you can't understand what I wanted to teach that lady. She did not understand that there were borderline demons that didn't want her to get married, and they were the ones that were stirring up her soul. How can I get this lady to the point of enlightenment? I need wisdom from the Holy Ghost. So the wisdom that came was, give her a pen, let her write the 2 things that can go wrong. That was when she discovered there was no reason. But she was feeling turbulent in her soul. She didn't know that it was through the ministry of demons. And she was saying it was the Holy Ghost that was. I've stayed long in pastoring work, so I know that thing. Especially if you are pastored in Benue. If you have not pastored in Benue, you don't know this. Benue. So she could not write it for 15 minutes. I said, I'm waiting. Because I need to go and tell the people why the wedding won't hold. So write the 2 reasons so that when I go, I'll be bold. That was when she discovered there was no reason. Can we go and continue? That's how. I said, clean your face. Shake yourself, then your face will arrange. Shake. So she shook. I said, follow this. Those were the days when there was still a door. So you follow this door. Here we come. Then we joined the hymn. On Christ the solid rock I stand. But you will not know what happened in the office. After the wedding, 2 months later, this same person came with wine in the night and said, you are a man of God. Because we're able to take her beyond the deception. And I've seen many sisters play that same game on their wedding day. You will not believe. I'm telling you from the table of practice. The table of practice. You see, for instance, a lawyer that just graduated from law school doesn't know practice. So you need to call the person. The person might be, 2-1. It can be pouring out, everything. You need to call the person and say, see. And then you give him a parable from the desk of practice. That demon found occasion on the strength of some iniquity, and then was now given the authority to bring that confusion. That's why you need a pastor that knows God. Because many times, you sisters, many times you are wrong. Many times. Let me tell you today. Those things you say. And you know, let me also tell you about me. If you come and say, the Lord say, I will leave you. We will follow the Lord to the end. And there are many people that have come to me to say the Lord. When we follow them, they enter into dry season. Now we are begging for mercy. Because they didn't understand that they were being manipulated by demons that infiltrate the thought realm. Every